Get ready for your daily dose of WordPress and web development tips, tricks, and insights to help you find success with WordPress. You're listening to WP the Podcast with your hosts, David Blackman and Tim Streifler.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of WP the Podcast, brought to you by WP Gears. I'm David Blackman.
And I'm Tim Streifler.
Today we're going to talk about 5 ways to optimize your workday for ultimate efficiency. Time is money, and if you don't have a plan, it's going to cost you money, in the way of time because you're scrambling around and stuff. So, Tim, you want to get us kicked off?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first way is, and this is like such a no-brainer, and I have to remind myself to do it, and I don't always, and I need to get more in the habit, is shut off your phone or put it on Do Not Disturb, and so that you're not receiving personal calls or texts during your workday, or at least during your prime focusing hours. I know for me, like the morning time, those are my prime focusing hours, or maybe like right after lunch, prime focusing hours. And so I try not to take any personal calls or respond to texts. I think the habit I need to get into is actually putting on my phone on Do Not Disturb so I won't receive them. Because even though I don't respond to them, and I've gotten in the good habit of not responding to calls or texts that aren't like actually business related stuff that's planned, I need to make it so I'm not actually seeing those come in, because it distracts me because I'm thinking about, who it is and what they want, blah, blah, blah. So that's a really easy way to make you a lot more productive, because our smartphones, we're getting not only calls and texts, but also it's so many different notifications that if you're focusing on something, whether it's designing, whether you're migrating a site, you need to be focused on that task and not being distracted with things that aren't related.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Next on our list is meal planning. Tim and I guess probably about a year ago, started using a meal service called Freshly, and we absolutely love it. If time is money and you're stopping every day at lunchtime to make your lunch, then it's going to, you're not going to be as efficient and productive because, and maybe you do need the downtime. If that's a good downtime where you make your lunch, the important thing is just to plan. So mention Freshly. Tim and I love it. They have great meals. They comes to your door. All you got to do is pop it in the microwave, bada bing, bada boom. 2 minutes later, you got an awesome, healthy meal, and food is important. Taking care of yourself is very important. So try to plan your meals out and stuff.
Yeah, Freshly is awesome. Not only is it healthy, but it's fresh, so it's never frozen. And so you put it in the fridge, and then they last up to a week in the fridge. And so I love not having to think about what I'm going to be eating. I just go and grab it, and I could take a 15-minute break and get back to what I'm doing, and without losing momentum. It's awesome. The next thing on the list is plan your day the night before. Plan what you're working on, what you plan to accomplish, and when you plan to accomplish it. So, okay, first things first, I'm going to do this. And it's really helpful. Something that I learned, I can't remember where I learned it from, but use a note card. Write out what you want to accomplish the next day, the night before. That way, your brain, it's a total scientific subconscious brain, while you're sleeping, will actually start kind of processing those different things. And I think, David, you're the one that says that your brain will solve problems while you're sleeping, right? In your dreams.
Oh yeah, mine does it all the time. I'll go to bed with a problem and I'll wake up with a solution. It's really kind of mind-boggling to me.
Yeah, so. It's crazy, but yeah, the subconscious mind is very, very powerful, and I think scientists say it's actually more powerful than our conscious mind, the thing that you're actually focused on. And so, yeah, you plan the day the night before, write it down, and your brain will start kind of knocking those things out, kind of strategically thinking of how it's going to solve those problems. So then when you start your day the next morning, you're hitting the ground running, and you know what you're going to work on and roughly when. You don't have to plan out every minute, but no, okay, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. Now, it's not always a perfect system. If you're like me, and I know David as well, things come up. You have to put out fires. Your team's pinging you, and you can't really predict those things and plan for them. But if you have kind of a loose structure of things you want to accomplish, then it'll at least help you prioritize better. So that is, definitely huge. And it's been helping me a lot the last couple of months that I've been doing it.
Awesome. Next on our list is, minimize your email and social media time during the day. Kind of put a plan together with scheduling. I know for me personally, I have OCD, so if I see a light on my email program that says I have mail in my inbox, it's really hard for me to just sit there and not look at it. So that can happen constantly, several times a day. So put a plan together to where, check your email twice a day at specific times. Here's a tip. Let your customers know you don't check your email except for these times of day. So if they email you and they don't get a response immediately and stuff, just let them know that's your process because you're working on potentially even their project. So do the same thing with Facebook, Instagram, all social media platforms. They can suck you in. You can go down the rabbit hole on any of those social media platforms. I know I can, at least.
Yeah.
Shut it off. Tell yourself, you know what? I'm not going to do it between this and this hours. And then also give yourself permission to, open those things when it is time and stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah. And the last one here is kind of a little more general because it's going to be specific to you and your life and, kind of what your routines are and whether you're working in your home or an office. But minimize disruptions, no matter what they look like. You have to kind of evaluate, audit your workday, and what are the things that disrupt you and take you away from being productive. Now, obviously, the things on there that we've already listed, but what are some other things? So for me, for example, it's my dog. My dog can be incredibly disruptive. And so I have to plan when I'm going to take him out. And so I figured out that he doesn't bother me. He's a very needy dog, lots of energy, and he needs lots of exercise, but he doesn't bother me for the first couple hours of the morning until around 10:30, 11-ish. And then he's like, I'm ready. Let's go, Dad. Let's go for a walk. So then I plan every day. I take him out around that time, 10:30 to 11, take him out, wear him out, exercise him like crazy, while simultaneously getting exercise for myself. And then he's worn out for pretty much the rest of the day until he's ready to eat dinner. And so I've kind of figured out that schedule and got in that game plan, to help me be the most productive. Because if I tried to stretch it and wait and not exercise until like the afternoon, for example, well, he'd be bugging me, disrupting me, and I wouldn't be able to be productive that way. And so there's other things like that. And so figure out what they are and figure out how to optimize for ultimate efficiency. Yeah.
All right. Tomorrow we've got another great topic, 5 ways accounting and bookkeeping software will help make you a better business owner. Tim, until tomorrow, we'll see you then.
Take care. Bye-bye.
We've come to the end of today's episode of WP the Podcast. Join us tomorrow for more daily tips and strategies designed to help you run your WordPress business toward success. Remember to subscribe to WP the Podcast so you can stay up to date with each episode. And don't forget to rate and review us. We'll see you again tomorrow, right here on WP the Podcast.